Another point I'd like to speak about is to protect animals from cruelty and exploitation. There's a lot of parties out there now, and a lot of people that are saying we can protect our animals, live animal exports, factory farming, the practices that are going on. We have a number of parties that are out there that are standing up for these rights. The Democrats also believe very strongly in these rights, to the point that a large portion of our membership are actually animal activists. There's a large vegetarian and vegan community in our party. So to protect animals from cruelty and exploitation, we need to come up with ways in which we can export our products overseas in a safe and humane manner.
This is a tricky issue for an omnivore like myself, because I appreciate people who are vegetarians and vegans like yourself. I sometimes wish I would aspire to be that efficient in my eating habits, because I know that it takes 11 times more grain to raise a steak than it does for me to be able to live on the grain alone. But, you know, it's a matter of personal freedom, and I am a carnivore. I love a steak. The key with raising and selling animals is that there's a big difference between exploitation and use of a resource. And exploitation of animals is particularly important because, as are humans, they're sentient beings, and while I am prepared to use other animals on this planet as a resource because of my dominant position as a human being, I'm not prepared to participate in things that I find cruel and unusual to human beings or any other mammal particularly, but not birds or other. There's no sense in it. It's wasteful, it tends to be non-efficient, and let's talk about live exports specifically, right? We've seen case after case where people are using a resource and shipping it to Bahrain, Qatar, other places in the Middle East, without full reasonable regard for the care and welfare of those animals en route.
Do we have the right to tell them how to treat their animals after they've been purchased from us and taken and left our shores?
We do. I believe we do, because the Australian government, the Australian population, should have a say in the manner in which you treat a resource up until, an animal resource that we're shipping to you up until its death. As a person who grew up on a farm, I saw this video on Four Corners 9 months, 10 months ago, the animal rescue program. And I know that animals are sentient beings and they can tell generally what's happening to people, the other cows and things around them. And, you know, you could see the third and fourth cow in the line there watching what was done, eviscerating the ones in front of them, and it was seriously affecting that cow. They knew they couldn't get escape, tried to, but there's no reason to torture an animal prior to killing him. And so the kill boxes, the things that the Australian meat industry has done in Indonesia to attempt to try to circumvent this thing, have been good as far as infrastructure goes, the kill boxes and things that they're using up there, but they're still not stunning all live animals before they use them, and they're simply using these restraint boxes, these kill boxes, as a means to restrain them so that they can then otherwise cut their throat. And that is the purpose in which they're supposed to be used. So we have it's a massive, massive export industry for Australia, hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and if the meat industry isn't willing, or we cannot through Indonesia, participate in a regime where we're certain that animals are slaughtered humanely, and by that the benchmark I would typically use is the way we would do it here in Australia, as a matter of course, then we shouldn't be participating in that trade. And nor should we be participating in trade where we just cart them over to the edge of the dock and let the Bahrainis drag away 3 and 4 sheep and stomp on them and stuff them into the boot of their car and take them off. And nor should we allow people like the Japanese to get away with murder and slaughtering dolphins the way they do in that bay every just a few weeks ago it happened again. There is a standard of behavior that I think all Australians expect from our government and our people, and I think we have a right to, when we're trading with people, up to the point where the animals are killed, have a responsibility to enforce our views our sphere of influence on those people. Otherwise, I'm happy for you to buy your lamb and beef from America and let them ship it to you at a significantly greater cost. And here's the thing I don't think people understand about Indonesia. When we cut off trade to Indonesia in live animals after that last animal rescue incident, Indonesians said, fine, cut off trade, we'll go our own. The price of beef in Indonesia skyrocketed after a while, and the quality was never as good. So that when the Australian product came back to market, it was able to command a huge price. And we need to use our influence in the fact that we produce really quality things that people want to discuss with them the manner in which we find acceptable that we arrange transport to them, if you will. And live animal trade generally need not exist at all, frankly, because all meat can be whole. You don't have to be an expert on the Quran to understand how you can butcher a cow, a lamb, whatever, halal fat. As always, thanks for your time, and vote Democrats.